Welcome back to Hope at Dawn, right here at Hope TV, where you look and live.
Yep.
After that amazing song, it's time to look at what's being reported in the papers this morning.
Yeah.
Now, the Daily Nation, they go with the headline, Secrets of Ruto Mudavadi Deal, Earthquake 2 years later. So more than 1 year to the 2022 general election, Musalia Mudavadi was the leading light of the One Kenya alliance that included Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi. Unbeknown to his allies, including Raila Odinga of the opposition Azimio, he was already secretly eyeing a deal with William Ruto. On the 6th of April 2021, they report that he quietly reserved the name Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Now, this is the outfit that is today the governing coalition. So you can read that story extensively on pages 4 and 5. It's all about the secrets of Ruto Mudavadi deal, and heading there just to have a preview of what is being reported. The January 23rd, 2022 earthquake deal unveiled 2 years ago. It was a culmination of behind-the-scenes maneuvers, deceit, political betrayal, and also horse trading. Read that page 4 and 5. I also see on the front page a petition, why churches should pay taxes on tithe.
Oh, wow.
So churches must share tax burden, says man in plea. Case alleges discrimination where a section of population pays while another walks away with full earnings. So petition challenges that the law that exempts some people and organizations from paying. So according to this petitioner, the tithes, offerings, and donations and any other person and entity exempted from taxation should be subjected to the same. You know? For eons, churches in Kenya have enjoyed tax exemptions on tithes and offerings collected. But this could come to an end if Nakuru-based Dr. Magare Gekenyi's petition challenging sections of the Income Tax Act that grant these exemptions is allowed. An interesting one there.
Very interesting one.
Interesting. All right. Inside the Daily Nation, stop fighting, Ruto tells Mount Kenya leaders. Mount Kenya politicians want Gachagua dropped as Ruto's running mate in 2027 and for Nyoro to take his place. Ruto said he was disturbed that Kenya Kwanza leaders are spending their time talking about succession politics. That is reported on page 6. I also see on page 7 two stories there. Kenya scales up malaria fight with 15 million bed nets. Project involves Kenya, US Malaria Initiative, and the Global Fund in prone regions. I also see IMF is criticizing the government for continuing fuel subsidies. IMF has hit out at Kenya over reintroduction of the fuel subsidy scheme on grounds that lack of funds to pay oil marketers will lead to distortion of the budget. That is on page number 7. I see World Bank gives Kisumu 1.4 billion shillings for facelift. It's a story you can read on page 14. So Kisumu very soon will be brand new.
Wow.
In terms of how it looks, because the Kisumu informal settlements set for facelift in 1.4 billion shillings plan. Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o said the project will benefit over 400,000 people. It's a story you can read on page 14. I also see, do we have a DN2 pullout today? I believe so. So on DN2 pullout today, it's all about parenting and why we choose to hire day bugs instead of live-in nannies. So reasons range from the desire for more flexible childcare solutions to concerns about privacy and the importance of socialization for children. So you can read that DN2 pullout, choosing day bugs instead of live-in nannies. I don't know, you can relate, can you?
Yeah, actually, just yesterday,
Yeah.
a lady called me and told me if in case I need a nanny wa kuishi,
Living.
living,
Yeah.
like the one who will be like moving into your house,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Because you can relate much better.
Yeah, I think it depends.
It depends on who she is,
yeah,
her background, and all that.
yeah, how she behaves,
Yeah.
yeah, and also the needs at home. Yeah, the needs
Yeah.
at home as well
Yeah.
can dictate whether you can get living or a day bag.
Wakukuja kuenda.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The world news, US wants DR Congo leader to address election concerns. Trump seeks to seal nomination in New Hampshire showdown. I also see Blinken seeks support of West African presidents. Back page of the Daily Nation, spending on debt, state officers pay to cross 2 trillion shillings mark. Treasury asked to come up with ways to reduce debt spending by $500 million shillings over 5 years. Weakening value of the shilling has seen the National Treasury increase allocation for debt repayment by 240 billion shillings. Right. Inside the Nation, the sports pages, Ethiopians lead stellar cast for Sirikwa Gold to a meet. I also see Eldoret Race receives 2.3 million Deto boost. The Africa Cup of Nations continues. Equatorial Guinea's president declares public holiday to celebrate big win.
Wow.
So, yeah, they beat the hosts, not actually beating, humiliated the hosts 4-0.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
indeed that calls for celebrations. Yeah, public holiday. You know, these are the things we are lacking because of poor show by our very own Harambee Stars. We could just be here, just chilling.
I know.
Yeah.
Tukipambana na the Pharaohs.
Yeah, but see us now.
See
Untested head coach Cheche starts Junior Starlets campaign. Ex-Harambee Starlets striker calls provisional 30-member squad to camp. And then shell-shocked 2023 AFCON hosts Cote d'Ivoire nervously await fate after heavy loss to Equatorial Guinea. So they still could go through. They were banking on a draw between Gambia and Cameroon, which did not materialize because Cameroon beat Gambia 3-2. So they are now hoping that Morocco will beat Zambia. So if Morocco beats Zambia, then they could squeeze their way into the next round. But if it's a draw or a Chipolopolo win,
what is Chipolopolo win?
the nickname of Zambia national team.
It.
Yeah, that's their nickname. Yeah, Chipolopolo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Kumbe sisi ndio tunalalia masikio
Yes,
when it comes to names.
Ati Harambee Stars. Kuna Chipolopolo. The elephants. Anyway.
We should
Yeah,
give
that's the
ourselves
Daily
an
Nation.
area.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Standard. And I see here Ruto's warning shot to restless Mount Kenya leaders. That is the story that is making the headlines. And I see here President Ruto has been sucked into the raging squabbles among his lieutenants in central Kenya, warning restless youthful leaders led by MP Ndindi Nyoro, who are seeking to upstage Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in Mount Kenya supremacy battles. And of course, we see here that Supreme Court makes good ban order on lawyer. The Apex Court declines to accord senior counsel Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi audience when he made efforts to appear before it over a 2 billion land case. And I also see here on page 7, all 17 Isongo school teachers to return. Teachers' employer resigns decision to transfer the tutors after meeting stakeholders of troubled secondary school at its Nairobi offices yesterday. And on the very, very second page, I see here TSC says 17 withdrawn teachers to return, cautions against hostility. Catholic leaders and management of Isongo Secondary traveled to Nairobi to resolve the row. Commission transferred all 17 teachers after parents accosted the tutors over poor results. And Dr. Nancy Masharia, who is the TSC chief executive, says that while we were aware of the rights of every child to education, we also consider the lives of the teachers as sacrosanct. Yes, that is a story that you can find in more details on page 2. And I see here on page 3, anaona wanyama pale KWS. I see keep private funds out of parks, KWS told. Conservationists say allowing investors to build facilities will drive away wildlife. Tourism professionals propose the establishment of resort cities outside the parks. And I see protest as state moves giraffes to coast. Also a very interesting story you can find on page 3 of the Standard. And I see here why meeting between Ruto and Koome is a threat to the rule of law. Senior lawyers say the president is undermining the constitution by arm twisting the judiciary. Political pundits fear that independent arms of government could be soon unable to perform their functions of checking each other's excesses. And the story we touched on that was on the top page, I see here Ahmed Nasir gets Supreme Court shoulder. 6 judges in a virtual case rescued, recast themselves as lawyer offered to make peace. LSK and other lawyers oppose move by Apex Court to deny him audience. When we cross over to the page 6, I think it's also highlighted something that is also in the Daily Nation about Ruto cautions UDA MPs over succession plot in Mount Kenya region. And I see head of state fires warning shot to restless youthful leaders who have been challenging the supremacy of the DP. And Gachagua hits out at some critics whom he accuses of trying to divide the region. And, you know, I see here Kiambu has produced 2 presidents, a prime minister and a deputy prime minister, while Nyeri has produced president for 2 terms, a vice president and a deputy president. This is our time to lead the country, Muriu says. All right. And when we move over to the other page, I see here page 7, all about Mackenzie. I think we did this news some while back, you know, just talking about that they have been taken to court for terrorism and, you know, murder charges. Says that controversial pastor and his 93 associates face manslaughter after deaths of 429 people. And of course, they have actually denied all these charges. They are said to have denied. And Mackenzie, his wife, Rhoda Maweu, and 93 associates were arraigned before Chief Magistrate, where they pleaded not guilty. Story you can find on page 7. And maybe crossing over to page 10, I see Kenya universities suffer scarcity of professors and what they can do. Professors occupy the highest teaching rank in an university. They should publish extensively and generate substantial research grants. We have 68, the number of universities in Kenya today, 1,000. The average number of professors in Kenya is less than 1,000, and 562,000 is the number of university students in Kenya. That is an average of 563 students per professor. And when we get to the back page, I see night of drama at AFCON as record champs Egypt survive. Mozambique fight back to draw against Ghana, which ensured Egypt sailed through. Elephants hopes of last 16 hung by a thread after shock loss to Equatorial Guinea. That's the one you said. While you pigwa kivumbi, hatari. See, South Africans also face tough Tunisia test. North Africans must win to have any chance of reaching the last 16. Bafana midfielders when says that they can't afford to take their foot off the pedal. That is on page 31.
All right. In the Business Daily, I see they are addressing an issue which is very pertinent to you. Because they are saying payslip deductions for top earners rise by 430,000. Yeah, top earners. Wow. Yeah, so expected change in top earners pay shillings per month. Now 800,000 shillings. Yuna will relate with this one. Yeah. She used to take home 566,000. Right. Now she will be taking home 522,000. Oh, that's very sad for her. Yeah. Now you for you. You have been taking home 706,000. Yeah. Now, because that's a million. The salary is a million bob. Yeah. So you took home 706,000.
From a million. Can you imagine?
Yeah. But now you will be dropping further because you will lose 61,700. So your take home will now be 644,000.
From a million.
From a million.
So for over almost 400,000 goes to the government.
Exactly. So they are saying executives to bear brunt of higher taxes and levies. Lack of caps on SHIF housing levy amplifies heat. Yeah, okay. But you still are taking home 600.
It's still okay. Yeah. Plus,
and then you know we can't relate her for.
I know. Sisi hata hatuwezi taja, you know. And then you know that's 600,000 plus God's grace and provision. My friend, I'm a trillionaire.
Awesome. So that's what is being reported in the dailies this morning. Grab your favorite copy and get to see what is being reported. Also, Hope Media, we have you covered in as far as news is concerned. We have News Watch on Hope FM every top of the hour from 7 a.m. actually, all through to 7 p.m. And this morning on Hope FM, the morning shift, we have Tess. She's the one on duty. So you can tune in to the same right here at Hope TV,
Yes.
7 p.m. we have Dira, and then at 9 p.m. we have News Watch.
Beautiful. All right. It's time to check out the video of the day, and then we will be back to talk about it.